My name is Denise Belisle, and welcome to It's All Good. Lucas here for a chat. I'm super excited today to tell you that today is my second year anniversary of doing these shows. It's such a reward for me to have done these shows for the last 2 years. Every Monday, I'm here inviting people, having a chat with somebody amazing. And you can find all these interviews on my YouTube channel. So please go and subscribe to youtube.com/ at Denise Belisle to see all the interview that I've done. It's under the tab collaborators. And also, I want to explain why I call this show It's All Good. First of all, it's my favorite cup. It says It's All Good. And it's also a way of thinking. Life is good. Regardless of what's going on in your life, you can always find something good into your life. It's like the yin and the yang. There's always the little black dot and the white, and the little white dot and the black. That's what that represents. There's always a little bit of evil in the good and a little bit of good in the evil. And so your job is to find the good in your life, because regardless of what happened yesterday or 2 seconds ago, you can't change the past. You can't change what happened. So what you can do is just be happy right now. And when you're moving forward in the future, you can't predict the future. If we could, everybody would be a millionaire. So because we can't predict the future, you got to be happy with what you have right now. You can't say, I'll be happy when I'm on vacation. I'll be happy tomorrow. I'll be happy when I get that job. That won't change anything. I'll be happy if I get this boyfriend. I'll be happy if I get married. These things won't make a difference, because you're always going to be looking for the future. So once you learn to be happy today, that's the best way to live your life and think that every moment it's all good. So if you want to be in touch with me, or you would like to be part of my third year episodes, I would like to encourage you to book a call with me. And it's tiny.cc/talk with Denise. So today, my special guest is, hold on to your seat. It's me. I have an amazing friend that's going to be here, Monica Henderson, and she's going to interview me. Let's welcome Monica. Monica is a genius activator, and she's an amazing interviewer. And that's what I was wondering, what would I do for my second year anniversary? If you go back into my YouTube, you'll find that last year I had do a summary of all my talk for the first year. But I got to tell you, that's a lot of work. But it's a great piece. If you look a year ago, it's an amazing piece, episode 52, I think, 53, 52. And, but this year I was like, what am I going to do? And I was like, hey, why don't I have someone introduce me and interview me so that you, my audience, can get to know me even better and know what I'm all about, even more than listening to me interviewing people. So, Monica, welcome. The floor is yours. And you can explain a little bit who you are, where you're from, what you do. And then Monica has been on my show a couple of times also. She's what do you say that? She's been there a lot, you know?
A regular.
A regular, yes.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Denise, for actually having me on. And I'm super honored that you chose me to celebrate this very special day on your show, because 2 years of doing anything is something to celebrate, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 years of kind of living in your truth and bringing forward this joy that you bring with It's All Good on this show. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Like you said, I am a genius activator. And essentially, what I specialize in is uh, organic intelligence and um, self automation. In a lot of ways, we are not terribly disciplined, but this is a testament to what happens when you are disciplined in something. This show is a testament to that, because 2 years is a very long time. So, without further ado, I'd like to actually ask you some questions and dive in. I'm going to dive deep for you guys so that you guys can really get to know Denise. Sound good? All right.
I'm scared,
So,
but that's okay.
first question I have is why did why do you do this for have you done this for 2 years? I mean, it's been 2 years of consistently doing the show.
Mhm.
Why do you keep doing it, and why does this bring you joy?
Good question. Thank you. I why have I done that for 2 years? I've done that for 2 years because I meet a lot of people online, especially since COVID. We have a lot of virtual coffee dates, and I've been talking to a lot of people virtually. And then what I realize is there's a lot of gems out there. There's a lot of amazing people, and I'm excited to bring them forward, to introduce them to the people that are listening to those videos, to my audience, because I feel that it's such a pleasure, it's such a gift that I can give to people. And it's like right now I have people lined up until October. So there's no lack of amazing people out there. And I'm super excited every time I interview someone. And I there are people that I have had a coffee chat with, and we talked about, they asked me, oh, can I go to your show? And then we talk, and I was like, no, I don't get it, right? Like I don't just invite anybody. I'm selective on who I invite here, and it warmed my heart to interview these people. They're usually people that I'm excited to talk to, that I'm excited to share and get to know them even deeper and ask them questions. Sometimes they don't expect. People send me a few questions, and then sometimes I go off script, or most of the time I go off script. And then there's a few times I ask people questions. It's like, nobody ever asked me this. It's like, okay, let me think on that, and then they answer the question. But I think it's fun. It's fun. I love being the host and interviewing people.
Yeah. So now that you've done the show for a while, obviously you're not the same person that you were when you started this, right? So how has doing the show changed you? How has it made you a better person?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like if you go back, people watch episode 100 with Nuria Sefcovic, and I invite her for my episode 100 because she's the one that I was doing accountability call every day with her, once a week, not every day, once a week with her. And then we were talking about being more present. And then I said, oh, I should do something alive or invite people. And I was like, but I'm so shy. I don't know who's going to listen. And I said, well, would you be my first guest? Because I was just talking with her. I said, who else would want to come and be interviewed by me, right? And so it would be fun to watch episode first one, because I brought it back during our interview episode 100. Like I play a small clip, and the two of us, we had changed so much. But for me, what it brought me is a lot more ease into not being shy to ask difficult questions, not being not to worry about who's listening, just be myself. And sometimes I'm quirky, sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm just, the French girl from Montreal that's doing those interviews. But it changed me in a way that I gained a lot more confidence into being with someone and feeling that they pull the gem out of them, right? Like look for the gift in that person that I want to learn and that I want to share with other people. And it makes me a much better person whenever I talk to people outside of the camera, to be curious, to be wanting to know that person. So it changed me quite a bit.
Yeah. So you've interviewed clearly over 100 people, right?
Hmm.
Or had at least over 100 interviews. Is there anybody that you really, really want to interview
Um,
that you maybe haven't yet? Like, what's your dream interview? Let's put it out there. I mean, it's your birthday of your show. Let's have a birthday wish for yourself. So, like, a dream interview would be who?
uh,
See, I
I
stepped off
know.
the script just like you do to your guest.
I think
Table turned.
someone that has had a lot of like, of course everybody wants to interview Oprah, but who wouldn't, you know? But somebody that has an influencers, right? Like somebody that like Maria Folio, for example, right? Like she's amazing. She has so much to bring to people. Um, I don't know. Like it's hard to think of it, right? But there are people out there that I feel they are just as important as these people, that has so much to bring, and they
Yeah.
are like hidden in the back. And these are the people I want to bring to the light.
Yeah. And what was your favorite, like your favorite moment in interviewing people? Do you have a favorite moment?
I don't have a name to because I don't have my list in front of me, but when I can geek out on mental fitness and mental health and mindset, and when I'll have someone coming up in a couple of weeks, and we had our first talk. I had a cancellation, so I was able to put her in early, and we were I was listening to her explaining what she does. I was like, yeah, I get you. And then she said, well, tell me about you. And then I was telling her what I do. She said, yeah, it's exactly what. So we were geeking out on positivity, on mindset, on you're in charge of your life. You can, like everything that I love to talk about and to help people with. We were like geeking out. So come on, I think it's in a couple weeks. She'll be there. I think it's the last Monday of the month, and there'll be a great mindset geek out party.
And where would you like the show to go? Like, you obviously aren't in the same place that you started. Where
Hmm.
would you like this show to go? Like, what would be the dream for the show?
I think I just have to get my act together and put out an actual podcast. Like I have like 104 episodes with this one, 105 episode, 104 episode of materials that I could just put out there for a larger audience to listen to. So that's where I'd like to take it, to really take that, put it on an actual like podcast platform so it can go on Spotify and everything. Right now I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Twitter, right? But I want to, yeah, I think that's my next step, to really like, maybe what I'll do is I'll look at my episode to start. I might not put 110 of them in there or two, like all of them, but I might go and select my best 20 or my best 30 out of the 100, and just post them, start there, and then keep adding some as I move forward. I think that's what I might do because it's less scary, you
It
know when
is.
you think, adding, 104 episodes, like, oh, it's so much work. But if I'm thinking, okay, the best 40, who's my best 30?
Your
My
top 40.
my top 40. Yeah.
I love that. It's a great idea. I'm sure so many people would benefit from
Hmm.
the conversations that you've had because you've had so many of them. So, I guess my final question, maybe, is what is new with you right now? Like, what is happening in your world, and like, how are you impacting?
We have over half an hour if we want. There's
Oh,
no rush. We can extend that.
well, then let's dive in, shall we? So, what are you working on right now?
Yeah, I've been, thanks to you, Monica, actually. When we first met, which will be 3 years, I think, in January. Um, we met over the phone. We actually talked on the phone,
Uh-huh.
and she wanted to me to work for her, as like work for her, work associate myself with her to do a conference that she had, in online conference in Los Angeles, and then that's how we got to know each other. But then as we move forward, so what are you going to talk about? And like, well, I don't know. I was pretty immature on the coaching side because I had just relaunched my coaching business, and I was helping women over 50, right? Which was like, yeah, there's 5 billion of them. And no, maybe not 5 billion, but how can they recognize themselves? So then we narrow it down, and who I'm excited to work with right now is still women over 50, but whether they are either empty nesters or soon to be. This is I've met I'm an empty nesters, soon to be, and an empty nester of pets, and that counts too, because losing a pet can be as detrimental of losing, because it's my babies, right? They're my children, they're my heart. But But for those of you that have actual children, it's even more limiting in a sense of your life, because my pet, I can leave them at home. They never have to be driven to the soccer game or the hockey game or the baseball game, or, I don't have to buy them clothes, and I don't have to sacrifice financially for them. So that's a bit different in that sense. So that's what these women have gone through. Those that I know that have had children, they go last. They are the last on the list of treating yourself well. And it's a detrimental, because I feel that these women, they work so hard, for the last 20, 25 years, depending when your kids leave the house, God forbid. Funny. uh, and and they work so hard at caring, loving, um, swiping their bum, and do everything, for their children, driving them and putting themselves last, even, behind their husband. And now the kids leave the house, and they're like, now what my life supposed to be like? What am I supposed to do with me now that I'm here? And that's why it's so many women go into like a light depression or a deep depression when their kids leave the house, because they haven't been taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
They have not been putting themselves on the list of to do. It's always at the bottom, and
Yeah.
they always goes last. And I think it's a shame, because that's the problem that's happening, right? Because once that happened, then you find yourself with, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I like. I haven't bought a piece of clothing in 10 years. Like all these things that are, sorry, I think I got a cat here in my face. Uh, all these things that are happening, that with the kids, but not with you. And I feel that it doesn't have to be that way, right? You can learn, even if, it's just taking little moments. So, okay, this is me time, or this is mama time. This is, okay, after dinner for half an hour, I'm just going to go and meditate. I'm going to go and read. I'm going to go do nothing. I'm going to sit on the couch and watch TV. You take care of yourself, you whatever that is, right? And some of you, I know you're listening, say that's not possible. Well, pick a time that is possible. Pick a time that is for you. And especially as you get, like, I call that building an exit strategy from being a full-time parent, because as you move towards these time, like when your kids are not kids anymore but teenagers and sometimes young adult, and there still depends on you, well, they can take care of themselves. They can do the laundry. They can do the dishes. They can pass the vacuum. They can wash the bathroom. They can do all that. So it's up to you to, first of all, it's a great skill to have, to train them, right, to do that. So that's what I'm all about. I'm here. I could talk about it for an hour, but that's what I'm all about. I want to help these women to find themselves back, and to help them build that. Okay, now once the kid leaves the house, what am I going to do? What's my plan? What am I going to be, you know what am I going to be doing with my life? And of course, your partner is there too. And that's another story. Now you find yourself face to face with a man that you didn't pay any attention for the last 20 years. And well, not any, but not a whole lot. And now you're like, oh, wow, who are you? Where'd you come from? And now you have to, a lot of time it happened, you have to rekindle that relationship. And we know women in their 50s, they get into menopause, and the drive is different than the man. So it's a whole lot of stories. So yeah, you're listening to this and, yeah, yeah. That's where I'm at. So what I've done is I created a checklist, first of all. So it's right there coming up. Yes. So I'd like, it's called Starting Over Checklist. And it's a checklist that will allow you just to give you little tips on what to do once you're an empty nesters, different steps, that you can take care of, things you might not think of, and how to take care of yourself, how to go outside your bubble and go find new people and play with other people and all that. And And then I've also developed a program called the Breakthrough System. And once you get the checklist, you'll have an option to have a taste of that little program. And what it is that it allows you to make that plan, to say, okay, what am I going to do? You can start before the kids leave, which makes it easier. Or if they're already gone, then you can say, okay, well, now what am I doing? What's my plan? Where do I want to be in 3 years? If you're a full-time parent at home, okay, you're going to get a job because you're going to be bored at home. It's going to be nice for the first few months, but then after a while, it's like you're going to watch the paint dry on the wall and say, wow, that's interesting. So make a plan and build a structure around it and make fun part of your life and discover yourself. So again, just download this checklist and you'll see, what's interesting about that.
Yeah, I um I am almost retired from parenting as I have one more year of children in the house. But I have been planning for
Oh yeah, I know you're a
years for
genius
the.
activator planner for
Oh
sure.
yeah, me and my husband. Well, actually, I've planned more than my husband has. I have a full list of activities that I intend on doing
He's
when I
happy
know.
to follow.
And recently we've been having those conversations of like, okay, so you're gonna need a hobby because I'm not gonna be your hobby. So you're gonna need to find some hobbies to work out. So yeah, what you're talking about is so real, and there are a lot of people who do struggle because they've made their kids' lives their lives.
Hmm.
um, they do struggle with finding themselves after. So it's great that you are offering this service, right? This ability to have a support system in that process of transitioning from being a identified as a full time parent and going down to a light mentor at best. Right.
Hmm.
When the kids go off, they actually are trying to get their independence and they're trying to figure out who they are, and so they're a little less dependent on advice from mom, advice from dad, and so this service that you're providing is really going to be helpful to a lot of people who have to repurpose that energy that they've uh, been giving to their children or even their fur babies or whatever they are nurturing
Hmm.
that's coming to an end
I
in the
actually,
current way that they're doing it.
yeah, I made a little video last week, and I said, "Are you a satellite parents or a helicopter parents?" Right?
Yeah,
And it's such a good distinction of how do you want once your kids leave the house? Do
yeah,
you want to be like on top of them all the time and wanting to know every single move? Trust me, they don't want that. The kids don't want that. A satellite parent is like, okay, you know where your kids are, what they're up to, but you talk to them maybe once a week, which is normal. And but you keep an eye out, but you're way back, right? Like you're not all on top of them because that's you don't want to be an helicopter parent. Like, oh my God, mom, leave me alone. I
yeah.
want to live my life.
Definitely don't want them coming to live back in your basement or your couch. So you want to give them that space.
Yeah,
You want to give them that space to develop their own independence.
yeah.
And I do know that that is a big time struggle with a lot of people. Just reorganizing their thoughts on how they're going to do that. And also, you don't want to become that parent that is the annoying parent in all the anecdotes of the story. Oh, my mom, oh, she's just always in my business, or my dad is always on my case about something, right? We
Yeah.
want to be the best versions of ourselves, and we definitely don't want to be the subject matter at the therapist couch for our children. So, uh, doing Denise's program sounds like it'll help you not become the main topic of your children's therapy
Mhm.
sessions.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. You know,
So,
because you want to be, if you were to apply for a job to become parents, you want your kids to recommend you,
oh
right?
yeah.
You don't want them to say, no way, no, no, no.
No, no, no. You don't want that. You think you do, but you do not.
Exactly.
You don't want them to say that. Yeah. So, is there any, as we're coming towards the end, and I know you and I can talk for forever because we do all the time. But as we're coming towards the end here, is there anything, any like last important message that you want to leave your listeners with as you launch into year three of your podcast or of your, well, I'm going to say it, I'm going to call it a podcast because that's what it's going to become. But as you launch into year three of your show, what is the final message that you want to leave with people moving forward to give them that serenity?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think what's really important is, and I go back to the basic of the beginning of my show, it's life, it's all good. Like when you, regardless of what happened in your life, you know, you have the choice. We always have the choice to be either happy or sad. I don't know if you've ever been happy and sad at the same time, but it doesn't work that way. You can have two contradictive emotion at the same time. And so it's a choice. You can choose every morning when you wake up. How do I want to live my life? What do I want to be today? Do I want to be the grumpy person? Because you are an accumulation of all the things you've done in your life. And like I interviewed Dr. Mort right a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that he used to be angry all the time. But then one time, like at some point, he studied and he found ways to eliminate anger out of his life because he didn't like to be the angry guy. He didn't like to be the guy that has that always fight with people and he's the grumpy guy. And that's how he was portrayed by his friend and people around him. And he was tired of that. So he made an effort. He studied and he find a way. So go watch his video a couple weeks ago, and he talks about a method that he developed to eliminate anger. And it's simple. It's like it's like bang bang bang. Within a few seconds, you'll have anger elimination, and he has a downloadable. So that's why I'm saying, like, you can change. You don't have to get stuck with your old image of you. Like if you look at your picture 20 years ago, you don't have to be that person, right? You can discover who you are today and decide that you want to be an amazing person. You want to be someone that people look forward to see. You want to be someone that people look up to. You want to be someone that people don't run away from when you arrive in a room, but they will be magnetized by you and they'll be attracted to you. So, and if you have a hard time doing that, well, that's why I invite you to have a talk with me, because I can support you to find that gem in you. I can help you find that beautiful person inside of you that will that is there. We all have, that positive, beautiful person inside of us. And I always say, like, even the worst criminal on this planet, Hitler, for example, or anybody else that did atrocity on this planet, he had a soft spot somewhere. He was a good person for someone, right? There's always good in everyone, and there's lots of goods in all of you that are watching right now. And I want to help you bring it up, and so that you can live that beautiful person every day and wake up happy and say, another day, this is awesome. I'm excited to see what's going to happen today.
Very cool. Yeah, that's going to be a sound bite right there. There was a soft spot in
Hmm.
Hitler, which is true. Most people don't start off evil; they kind of make bad decisions along the way.
Yeah.
But I love the thought of that I can make every day. I can choose every day to
Mhm.
make it a good day. I love that,
Yeah.
which like directly aligns with my usual closing is you have choices, choose to be great, right? Like you have a choice to make
Mhm.
today, heaven or hell, for yourself and
For
everyone around
others. Yeah, exactly.
you. And so choose to be great instead. So I
Yeah.
love that. Thank you so much, Denise, for having me interview you on your show and turning the tables on everyone.
Thank
This
you.
was so much fun, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Monica. I appreciate you too. And I'm sure you'll be back on the show as I know there's a lot of stuff brewing on their end. So I can see you coming back in a few months talking about your new project. So that'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
All right, just stay there. I'll be right back. Thank you, Monica. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun talking with Monica. And for once, being the one being interviewed and talking about myself. So I said it all. There's not more to say. I'm excited that this is my 2 year anniversary, and it's fun. Like I'm a little bit emotional right now, and as I keep mentioning, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be more than happy to for you to join the channel and watch my videos and comment. There's a comment at the bottom, so you can comment or just send me an email whenever you want. And don't forget to download the checklist, which is the starting over checklist, and reply, and I'll send you an email to download it and reply to it and let me know how that affected you and how you like it. So happy anniversary. Until next time, be kind to one another, and I'll see you next week.